Welcome to another AMA with Kadena Ecosystem. In this episode, we'll be speaking with the team from Kadena Life Sale. This conversation was recorded on March 31st, 2023, live on Twitter Spaces. The views and expressions in this AMA do not represent the views of Kadena Ecosystem directly and are not to be considered as financial advice. Please make sure to do your own research on the projects presented. Also make sure to follow and subscribe to our account to be alerted of new uploads. Now let's get started. Enjoy. Welcome everybody to another AMA with Kadena Ecosystem. Today we are catching up with our good friend Damien over at Kadena Life Sale. He's been working very hard on his project, never given up, always pushing through this bear market, continuing to work, which is very awesome. So welcome back, Damien. It's great to have you back here. Why don't we just start first for people who may be new to Kadena Life Sale and don't know what it is, maybe just a brief description of the project.
Well, basically, we have we decided to build a marketplace because what was available didn't serve our needs, and so I found a programmer that is working at building this platform that is going to offer a better value for people who are interested in creating collections, NFT collections. So that's part of what we're doing on the programming end. And on the art end, our project is basically it's an art project, and we're trying to connect physical artwork to the NFTs that we're going to be selling very soon. I know there's a lot of people who have like free mints as well from our collection, and we've been trying to figure out how to do that. When I offered it, I didn't think about the programming challenges that are involved in doing it, but they're very specific, and I'm happy to say that Amir solved them, and we're testing right now to make sure that everything is working correctly, so that we'll be able to offer the collection to people.
That's great to hear. People have been looking and watching you guys and following along and seeing all the different clowns you've put out and things you've put out. You've put a lot of hard work into the art and into the NFTs. So I'm glad to see that you've found a way to finally start processing them and start getting them out. Have you guys done any trial runs of generations of any of the art and everything and seen what kind of cool designs come out of all the random traits when they're all put together?
Yeah, absolutely. We actually, the collection is finished. It's uploaded to IPFS, so it's ready to go. We're just, we have the provenance hash, we have everything to set up to basically offer the collection, and it's great. It's pretty awesome for the tier one. Tier two, we're still drawing. We're not finished with that, but for tier one, we'll be ready to go. We're already ready to go. Amir is telling me he does not have an invite to speak for some reason. Is did you send him in? Could you send him an invite? He's our programmer, so he'll
another one.
Talk about the back.
He's got to make sure he's on mobile too, right? If he's on desktop or anything, he's not going to see the invites.
Let me tell him that.
So that's usually the problem I find most of the time, because not everyone's aware that you can only speak when you're on mobile through Twitter Spaces. I really wish they'd come out with a desktop app or at least allow spaces just on a browser. That would be much better. But no, I'm super happy to hear that you guys are finally getting closer to that mint. I know a lot of people have been watching and really want to get their hands on these clowns, because some of them have been absolutely like mind blowing to see the art that's been coming out of there, especially like a lot of the one of ones, things like that. So they've been really cool to see.
Well, yeah, we worked really hard, and we're still working very hard on creating, you know, we decided to take on the challenge of creating a marketplace, and that was, when I first said it, it sounded a lot easier than actually doing it, and the challenge is, I'm just so happy to say that Amir has come through. He's done everything he said he could do, and we're all doing it. We haven't asked a cent from anybody. We're doing it out of just pure passion, and it's working. The idea is that anyone will be able to create their collection from A to Z on Kadena, without having any programming language, and we're very close. The skeleton is done. Now we have to work on the front end, but but it seems to be working, and so we're just excited to do a little test run, and hopefully we can get the community to help us do the test run. And we'll talk about that as well when Amir gets up.
Hey guys, I do realize I don't join these a lot, so my ability to speak, I did try to connect through my computer, so I apologize for that.
No worries, no
No
worries.
worries, Amir. Welcome, Amir. Good to have you here, man.
I don't know, I forget where it was or where I got it from, but I believe I saw a preview of your marketplace. I forget, somewhere, maybe Amir posted a link in one of the chats or something. I think it may have been in like the Kadena Sisters chat or one of those other chats, but I think I saw a preview of the marketplace. So is that, am I maybe just imagining things, Amir?
No, you're correct. I've been working on a number of tools, and a lot of people I can see who've joined this are probably familiar with this at this point. But really, what my focus has been is not just for any one project, but allowing creators to really just create. Right? You don't need to know any type of programming. I find that there are benefits to all of the different blockchains. I feel, Marmalade itself, while there are some recommendations that I'd love to get to the team, it's not the friendliest to work with, especially if you're just an artist that wants to go in there and create a quick, collection. And thankfully there's better tooling nowadays. But really that's been my focus, is to make that easy for everybody. So there's a lot that'll be coming out on that side. Launching collections, I believe is, pretty standard these days. So, we'll launch that, and there's a number of iterations of marketplace at this point. So there'll be more to come on that soon. There's a lot that goes into it, as everybody knows. And I think a really nice thing would be to get a, community beta test and just start hammering it. And the nice thing is, anybody can go in there and use it. It's not limited. There's no, you need to hit a paywall or anything like that. You can just go in there and start using it. And that's the idea, behind it, was to really create a tool that's for the community, and at this point by the community, right? And so that's really where the focus is. And I want to continue expanding on that. And hopefully, if we get a little bit of traction, we can always expand from there. So really excited.
So let's get into this marketplace a little bit deeper. Let's just, in comparison to what's already existing out there, are there any kind of tools that you guys are going to be offering that the other marketplaces are not? I know one tool that I would love to see in a marketplace would be somewhere where you literally just upload like a JPEG of, so for example, if someone wanted to do one of one NFTs where like they're designing and drawing each NFT individually, kind of like just, selling your own art, which would really go in alongside with the theme of, your art sales through Kadena Life Sale, is like someone where you could just upload a JPEG or something to a website, fill in a couple of like text boxes, with like the traits or whatever you want to say, or description, stuff like that, and then just pretty much, confirm it in your wallet as a transaction, and you're done. You have an NFT, it mints, it goes right into your own wallet, which then you could post on a marketplace. Is this kind of a tool that you guys are working towards?
I'll take that one. I don't really want to disclose too much on that, but that tool exists today. There's a few people who've seen it. If you want to do a complex collection, right? There's still some things when you start talking about, complexity, that's outside of what a normal person would do, right? We're not there yet. But if you want to drop 1,000 NFTs, 10,000 NFTs, and create a collection, I've got a tool for that. It's getting reskinned, it's getting worked on. To talk about an individual NFT, that was the first place I started. That is supportable today as well. A lot of this needs to be tested and a little bit more visually appealing. But the idea was, so you take your single image, you take 10 of them, you take 100 of them, 1,000, 10,000. It does not matter. There's no limit. I believe actually I correct, 10,000 is a limit. Just because it's pretty resource intensive when you go past that. But the idea was to be able to drop an image, fill out your metadata, layer, if you want to layer it, do whatever, that all exists today. You hit go, and it's supposed to be easy. So if it sounds easy, that's the intention. There's a few things, that have to get flushed out to make that pipeline work, but all the individual components are built. They work, they've been tested. We'll continue testing, and that there's going to be more to come on that here soon. So I don't want to spoil that, and that's not the point of this conversation. But a real minter does exist, and it will get released here, and that's what I talk about when I talk about community tools. That's a community tool. That's for the community. That's to help us engage people outside of Kadena to bring them into the ecosystem, and we need more tools like that. If we can drive people with no friction. They just need a wallet. Come with your wallet, we'll do the rest. And that's really the intent of that.
Also, I'd like to piggyback on what Amir is saying as well. We have basically, serious contacts in the art world. And another challenge that we've had is the fact that Marmalade isn't 100% finished yet as a stamp like this is on the Marmalade standard. And until we have that assurance, right, from Kadena that this is the standard and this is what it's not going to break in the future, it's not going to be updated, so that's been one of the reasons why we've hesitated as well to bring artists in. We want this to be flawless when we launch, right? We want it to be something where we can go to these people that are in the fine art world and say, look, there's this platform exists, it works. It's not going, you're on the Marmalade standard, which is a great assurance, I think, for what it's offering, what it promises for NFT creators, as far as protecting your royalties, protecting the fact that you're going to get them, continuously. Marmalade is offering great things there, but we have to make sure that it's finished and we are not going to break in the future because that's updated. So that's been one of the challenges, and as soon as we know that, like, we're 100% sure that that's not going to happen, that when we launch a collection, it's there for good, it is in stone, it's on the Marmalade standard, then we're going to start moving with the connections that we've made.
That's totally understandable because we don't want to get into situations like we've seen with previous launch pads, not to name any names or anything, but we've obviously seen some issues where, updates have come to the Marmalade standard that have broken things and in a really bad, sometimes almost irreversible manner. And really, I understand your hesitation to not want to push things out too soon to make sure that those kind of things happen, because there's nothing worse than something like that to happen to a new project, because it can really be detrimental to the project itself and its standing in the community.
And also our reputation in the real world. These are serious artists. These are serious people that we're talking to. So can you imagine if we launched them and then it breaks a month from now, and then for some reason we can't recreate the collect, or we have to recreate the collection, start from zero. We have to make sure that all of those ducks are in a row, and Amir has done a great job. He has good communication with the people at Kadena. They're working together at solving these problems as well, and so we're hearing a lot of positive things to really put Kadena on the map for this type of exchange using NFTs. I think Kadena is poised to really bring in a lot of the NFT market if when these things, I shouldn't say if, I should say when these things are solved.
Now, speaking of IRL, real life stuff, you're a very busy man and a very intricate man when it comes to your local business groups and art world. Maybe if you want to talk a little bit about your involvement there and how it ties into your Kadena Life Sale project.
Well, basically, a couple of things that have been taking a lot of my time is my involvement in BNI, which is Business Network International. It's an international group, but in Rosario, um, it's really big, and people take it very seriously. It's like basically your group of friends becomes CEOs of companies, and what's great about that is that you get people who are forward thinking, who risk, people who are always trying to see how to better things, and and so and serious people who have the ability to make things happen and who have made things happen, built things from the ground up. And those are the kind of people, that's the kind of mentality you need. You don't need a business, but you do need that mentality to launch a project. And most importantly, one of the most important things for me, and I think for people who are putting their name forward, is to make sure that what you say, what your promise is accomplished. What you say is done, and that's why I'm connected with this group, because they're serious people. They're people who are of their word. If they say something, it's going to happen. And um, and so so basically, those are the kind of people that need to be building projects. We've seen so many things. That's another reason why we haven't asked for money from the community, or haven't tried to sell the NFTs to try to get funding. It's like we want to make sure that you guys know that this is a functioning, working thing, and when it's functioning and working, then if you see value there, then it's your choice. But we want to show and prove to people that we are here, um, building things legitimately, without a single cent from from the community, from any investors, just doing it out of pure passion in order to realize, to make NFTs respectable, to make this business respectable, to create a situation where at least that in this place, if a project is launching, it's serious, it's going to happen, you're going to receive the product, it's real. And so we're really focusing on making sure that we deliver. That is our focus, because we've seen so many projects come and go that don't.
Now, when you're talking to these business owners about NFTs and blockchain and stuff like that, what are kind of responses are you getting from them? Are some of them like, "Oh, I don't want to get involved. They're just a bunch of, ape pictures and things like that," or, they just don't understand the tech? What's been the feedback you've been getting from these business owners and people that are not really in the whole realm of blockchain and NFTs? Is there excitement? Is there a lot of questioning? What have they been really like throwing back at you?
Well, yeah, we're from Pluto. We've landed. We're from Pluto. These guys build they're 50-year-old guys who built their businesses up, but their sons are very interested, and they're very hungry to learn. They want to know what it's about. And so a lot of what I've been doing is education. I've been doing a lot of presentations, a lot of one-on-ones. That's something you do in BNI, where you meet one-on-one with the person and you talk to them. And basically, the deal closer, I should say, the things that really turns on their antennas, is I just tell them what happened with KMC. Basically, they did not offer the best value per se, but they had these really cool NFT artwork, and that got people very excited about that project. And so I'm trying to show these business owners that if you connect with artwork that is valuable, that is good, it's going to give value to whatever product you're selling, um, exponentially, like we've seen with a project like KMC. So when I give them the numbers there, like these guys came up, they sold you a chip for $300, and now some of these NFTs are worth X amount because of the artwork. So when you tell them that, then it's right in front of them. It's dollars and cents, and that makes sense to them. And that is an incentive for them to think, well, maybe if I have a digital product, or a product that I can send internationally, it is worthwhile to do a collection with an artist, for example. It's worthwhile to make that connection. You know, Ideally, I'm an idealist, and I always think that I like to think of this time as, I like to compare it to the Renaissance. And in the Renaissance, that's what happened. It's when business met art that amazing things happened, and partly because of the new system of value, which was paper money. I think that we're in the same place in history, and I think that artwork and business need to come together, and that is what we're one of our main goals.
Yeah, that's one thing I've always thought about NFTs, and a good use case for that would be artists, because kind of NFTs would, the way I kind of see them when it comes to the art world, like the fine art world and things like that, is that NFTs could replace prints. So instead of having to make all these prints of your art and selling your prints as opposed to selling the original, you could literally make a digital print of your art as an NFT and then sell that on a marketplace with a set number. Like they'd have, you collect 1,000 pieces or something like that. That would then drive the value, get your reach out instead of, because a lot of people, like if you're drawing a picture and you live, for example, where you are in Rosario, then the artist isn't really getting outside of their zone. Only the people that kind of are in that community are getting to see that art and appreciate that art. Whereas if they were to digitalize their art and turn it into NFTs, that gives them reach to the entire world. And that's something that I think would be very valuable for the art aspect of it.
Well, absolutely. That's a huge incentive because in Argentina there are laws regarding artwork which are just ridiculous. They make sense for $1 million artwork so that people don't steal it or whatever, but they also completely destroy the business for anyone who's up and coming or anyone who's trying to make their mark, because they really cut the legs of people to not be able to reach out. And one of the things that this technology offers is that ability to just reach out through blockchain technology. And uh, and not only that, but also, I also want to incentivize business to join these guys. So basically, when you buy a piece of artwork, you're not just buying a piece of artwork. Let's say, for example, you get a bottle of wine for it. So you pay $20 for a bottle of wine. You have your bottle of wine, for example. You've bought something for that NFT. And I think that the artwork itself will create its own value, but it will also incentivize people to say, well, you know what? I also get a bottle of wine with it, and I'm buying something. That's one of the incentives that KMC had. You were buying a little chip from the miner, and so you're having something physical. And then the artwork kind of had its own spin-off, and I think that there's a lot of value there, and so that's what we want to do. We want to join these two worlds. The artist usually thinks that the business world is separate and against you sometimes, and vice versa. And the business people look at the artists as being, okay, you're that type of person, and those two heads need to meet. I think that there's a lot of synergy that can happen there, to not just offer an NFT or a piece of artwork, but to also attach it to a real product that you can use and enjoy, and also have the NFT artwork. So that's kind of our vision for what we're building.
Now, staying on the topic of art, for those who maybe might be the first time hearing about Kadena Life Sales or something like that, maybe you can talk a little bit about your amazing artist and who was the inspiration behind this entire series, because she is a very interesting person.
Yeah, Mary Marble Romano, she's awesome. I mean, she did this clown painting a long time ago. I think 18 years ago, which has influenced my life personally. It's made me do these crazy jumps, um, where it's basically there's a clown on a tightrope, and it's a life sale painting. It's an oil painting, and she has a career and history in the fine art world as an oil painter, and this particular painting it's small, but it's mesmerizing, and it's been the inspiration for the Kadena Life Sale collection. So basically, Miriam created all these different, based on that painting, all these different drawings, which I myself brought into the computer and enhanced in the computer, and basically we've created this collection to kind of say, encourage people to take risks and to uh, and to do things differently. Um, and the collection is has that in its heart. You have this clown who's in this precarious situation always. And if you take a risk, if you ever decide to take a risk on something that you believe in or something that you want to, you're gonna feel like you're on a tightrope. And so, so that's where the inspiration for the collection came from. And Miriam, you can check out her website, miriamalboromano.com. You can see some of her work, some of the things she's done, and she's just been amazing, you know.
That's kind of neat that you were actually able to get in touch with an artist that inspired you and being able to work directly with that artist to create something unique and special and bridge that into a world that I doubt that she even ever would have imagined that, you know, her art would be in a digital version on some weird blockchain called Kadena that she's never heard of or anything like that. It must be something very
You know,
unique.
but there's a lot of trust. I've been her patron for 18 years, so basically, uh, there's a lot of trust, a lot of there's fluidity in our relationship, and that's also rare in the world to have someone that you can fully trust. I know, you know, but that's where we want to be as well. You know, where people, if you can get a group of friends or a group of people to work together that you can fully trust, you can destroy mountains. And that's another important thing. If we're ethical and we're working together, we can accomplish anything. And that's another thing that I think this collection reflects is the fact that there is that. I should have her on one of the. I mean, I never put her on. She's a very interesting person to talk to, and I need to do an AMA with her. She has a very thick accent, but she is a very interesting person to talk to.
Maybe even if she doesn't want to do something live, just record an interview with her and put it up on your YouTube or something like that. I'm sure people would be very interested to just hear her stories and hear where her inspirations come from and things like that, just to get even more background, which would just cause even more interest in the project, I believe. It would just be an all around great thing to happen.
Chris, that's a great idea. I'm gonna get on that. That's a great idea. I should definitely do that. I should. I'm thinking about sitting her down, and just asking her these questions about, and just to see how she answers and how much, because she just trusts me. I tell her, look, this is gonna have wings, and so she does it, and she trusts me. But I'm not sure she understands. You know, she's an older lady. She's 74. Um, and it'd be great to just get her perspective on how she sees things. One of the things that I love about Miriam is that whenever I sit down and talk to her, I leave completely energized from the conversation, and that's very interesting because, you know, most of our conversations don't. That doesn't happen, and that's one of the reasons why I gravitated to, you know, follow this artist way and also support this artist, because there's something about life that happens by following those branches.
For sure. It would be very interesting. I think I would be definitely down for watching an interview with her and getting to learn more of her story for sure. Now, you mentioned earlier that you are just kind of entering like phase one of these NFTs or tier one. What exactly do you mean when you say that? Are there going to be more like a different is the collection kind of broken down into phases of release? Can you maybe explain a little bit more what you mean by that?
Well, we finished tier one. That's finished, and that's actually ready to go, ready to launch. We just want to make sure that, like I said, on the back end, everything's working well, so that first of all, I can fulfill the promise of all the free mints, and that is seamless, and everybody gets the free mints that I promised. And then secondly, that they're able to sell, and nothing happens. There's no glitches, and it's on the Marmalade standard. And then so tier two is basically the evolution of the artwork, and we're going to do 5 tiers total. And the idea is, if we generate any profit from this, it's going to be to build the marketplace and to build a bigger vision, which is Kadena Universe, which is a metaverse of education and artificial intelligence and programming. But that is a much bigger piece to bite off, and we're not there yet. That's the full vision of it all. But basically, so that's why we're offering it as artwork, because we don't want to any promise that we make, we want to make sure that we're able to deliver. And so tier one will hopefully get us the funding we need to be able to work on the front end of this thing, and and create the best front end you've ever seen, and also just build this platform in order to entice the NFT world to build on Kadena, to do it on Kadena.
Yeah, we need definitely need to bring more people in. Hopefully, as we're slowly kind of working our way, I think we're kind of hitting a bottom of a bear market right now unless something really crazy kind of happens in the next couple months. I feel like we might start to see an uptick, but of course, this is all just my own personal thoughts and opinion. Don't no financial advice or anything, but once that does happen, we're going to need lots of tools, lots of projects, lots of ecosystem things to be able to withstand what may be coming in the future of a big rush to Kadena. So the more, I always said, the more marketplaces, the more dexes, the more everything is always welcome in the Kadena ecosystem. There's no reason for there to only be, there doesn't mean there has to be only one of this or only one of that. And that's one good thing about the Marmalade standard, is that it's pretty much a ledger. And then once you use that Marmalade standard, you can pretty much then support any project that's building on that same standard, kind of in the same way that Hypercent did. So does that mean when it comes to your marketplace in particular, are you going to be supporting all of the Marmalade standard NFTs and they'll be able to have access to your marketplace? Are you going to be indexing them yourselves, things like that? Is that going to be something in the future, that another place where these amazing projects that have been working really hard will be able to sell their NFTs?
Well, that is the goal, absolutely. Now, Amir is our only programmer working. He's on our team. We have a small team. I've looked for other pack programmers, and they're difficult to find in order to say, hey, you want to work for free? That's that's the difficult part. I'm working for free, working very hard, because I believe I have passion in this, and Amir has been working also in the same way, but he's not getting paid. So that's the biggest challenge, is to be able to build all of this in the time that we have allotted, into because we also have to survive. So basically, we're building this from passion, and the idea you talked about the bear market, and that's exactly where we are. But this is the time to build it. This is the time to have the base ready and the platform ready, and then once it's there, it's there. There's no you don't have to rush to do it, because now there's a rush. The rush will come, but if it's ready, in other words, I'm a firm believer, if you build it, they will come. If it's built, and you're on the Marmalade standard, it's guaranteed. We can switch between marketplaces. So for example, if they can use Hypercent, they can use our marketplace, and they'll seamlessly work together on the Marmalade standard. We want to have all that ready, regardless of what's happening in the market. And I think that is what creates the market as well. Is to have that's what's going to make Kadena explode as well. Is to make sure that we have legitimate projects that are working and that are useful, and that have delivered on the promises. And so we're really hoping that Kadena gets some. I mean, I'm sure they're working really hard. We need that Marmalade standard. We need to know for sure that nothing's going to break, and it's going to happen. It's just a matter of time.
Well, hopefully, maybe the Kadena team will be doing a campfire or something with an update specifically for Marmalade. I know like they have a specific team that works on Marmalade. It'd be kind of nice to be able to speak directly with some of them to get some direct updates, and also for them to hear what it is the community really wants to make sure that Marmalade has for all of the different marketplaces, all the different NFT projects, just to make everything more seamless and work flawlessly for everybody. It's really just about making sure that everyone has a secure place to launch their NFTs or to sell their NFTs, and that it's standardized, which is one of the biggest things with Kadena, and the team has been working really hard on this, is getting set standards across the board for wallets, for NFTs, for marketplaces, for all of these things, because right now it's kind of been a wild west for the past little while when it came to those kind of standards, and people have just been kind of doing it themselves, changing things here, forking this, forking that, doing the little changes that they need to facilitate their own needs and for their own project. But once we get onto those set standards where everyone's on the same page, it's just going to be this fluid thing right across the entire ecosystem where everyone's going to have the same playing field, everyone's going to be able to work together, and it's just going to be something that will really just bring the community together as one, I feel. As far as your marketplace goes, when it comes to integrations for connecting to the marketplace, are you guys in talks with any of the wallet providers, or are you looking to possibly add Wallet Connect as a way to connect? How exactly are people going to be able to interact with the marketplace? I don't know if maybe Amir wants to take this one, or...
Yeah, today we support Eco Wallet, Echo Wallet. I don't know what to call it now. Previously X Wallet, and we're looking forward to adding Wallet Connect. I'm going to add Wallet Connect to all of my sites that I manage, and so that's the goal. I've just been waiting for a few minutes of downtime to sit down and get all that added in. So there's actually a couple of wallets. I think Zelcore's on there. Chainweb's obviously very similar to Zelcore, so that's supported. But really started with those three offerings and kind of expand. Excited to add Koala Wallet into that bucket. Think that's a great product, and when Lynx is ready, just add all the main ones. So hopefully we get everybody on one standard and make it simple.
For sure. We just recently added Wallet Connect to our wallet. So now you'll be able to use Wallet Connect. And also we're almost done and having the package for Dart and Flutter for Wallet Connect for Kadena to be integrated directly into the Wallet Connect website and their whole protocol. So once all of that's in place, which has to be set up because of the fact that they are depreciating the V1 version of Wallet Connect they have as of the end of June, at which point anyone that's on the old version of Wallet Connect, it will just no longer work and they'll have to upgrade anyhow. So that is another case, like I said, of setting standards across the board and getting everyone on the same page to make sure that it's flawless and seamless for everyone across all things. So if you guys are looking to maybe get even more interactive with Koala Wallet, always feel free to send us a message. You can DM Koala Wallet on Twitter. You can send me a message personally. That's fine with that. Damien has all my contact stuff, so, and we definitely be more than happy. We're always looking to talk to projects that are looking to get help with integrations. We can also, if you have any issues with Wallet Connect and implementing that, we'd be more than welcome to answer questions and anything like that. We're very much open to working with everybody in the community, competitors or not, doesn't matter. We don't look at anyone else as competition. We look at it all as just one big community where everyone can help each other and just grow stronger together. It doesn't have to be a competition. It never has to be.
What you said, Chris, if people could internalize what you said, um, uh, Kadena would be unstoppable. But, it is the real world as well. You're talking about the ideal world. And yes, you shouldn't see another marketplace as something that's going to take a piece of your pie. On the contrary, there's 8 billion people on the planet. You're looking at things small that way. Another marketplace together, synergize. I know Amir doesn't like that word, but I do. And but together, we're different. We have offer different niches, right? And basically, that adds value to the entire ecosystem, and that adds value to somebody wanting to go in, check it out, and see what it's about. When you see this camaraderie and you see people working together and not at each other's throats. So yeah, that's very important, and I wish everybody would see things that way. I think, Chris, one last thing. One of the things that is hurtful is when you get a bad actor, right? When you have a when you see something that is deceptive or with bad intentions, that's where it's really you feel the uppercut, you know. And you have to be ready for that as well.
I think too, some of the times it's not necessarily that they are bad actors, it's that they pushed too hard too quick and didn't really think things through and make sure that everything is up to snuff and secure and their coding is all correct and things like that. So, this is, like you said earlier, this is a great time being in a bear market where the focus isn't entirely, shined on Kadena right now. So it gives people a chance to build these amazing tools. Like I remember when we first started the Kadena Ecosystem website, we started with less than 50 projects and we're now up over 120 in about 10 months. So that's some really good growth considering we've been in a really bad bear market the whole time. The price of Kadena has dramatically dropped in that time from where it was at its all-time high. So people aren't really looking as much into it. But once things start to turn around and once the Kadena team is working really hard, if anyone's been listening to the campfires and stuff they've been doing, you can tell that they're on all cylinders trying to get Kadena to that step where it needs to be for when the next bull market comes, which involves interoperability with other blockchains, making sure that standards are set. There's so many different things that they're working on as well, and we just need the community members to just keep their faith, keep their eyes on Kadena for a little bit longer. I know a lot of people are kind of losing faith in the community and feel like Kadena is just kind of stuck in a rut, not really going anywhere. But if you just kind of spend a couple minutes and do a little bit of research, watch a couple videos, listen to a couple AMAs, you'll see that it may not be prevalent in your face that all this stuff's going on, but it is happening, and it's happening at a much faster pace now in the last couple months than it has been in the past year. And people really need to recognize that and just realize that this isn't some kind of quick pump and dump coin. This isn't something that has no real substantiality behind it. The team is really dedicated on making Kadena something big and something special. But those things all take time, all take effort and patience. So the more people can just kind of, keep working, keep building, take this time and opportunity to put out and build the best possible product that you can, that's really where people need to go. And that's what's going to push Kadena to that next step.
Absolutely, absolutely. And so with the Marmalade Santa, for example, yeah, they promised for it to be finished in January. But one of the things that also we understand is that we want that to be right, to be done right. And so yes, it does take time. I thought we would have this marketplace in a month, in 2 weeks, and obviously that's not the case. It takes time, and Amir has done an incredible job. You guys are going to see what he's built. It's amazing, and he's received also a lot of help from people I can see here in the audience, and and so yeah, it takes time to do it right, and patience. Well, patience will pay off.
So you mentioned earlier that you're looking to possibly try to break this thing before you launch it into the wild for everyone to use. Is there any plans on doing maybe like a closed beta, anything like that, where maybe just on testnet so that people can come in and really give it a go and really run it through its paces?
Yeah, I have a collection. It's I guess I'll say it now because I didn't connect it to my thing. But basically, I did a quick off on. It's called the Messy Collection, and we're gonna just offer that for like nothing, so that people can break it, so that people can test it. But I didn't want to mention that yet because that's not really we haven't sorted all that out yet. But that's the idea. We want to test it. We want to make sure it works and it works right. And if it doesn't, then we're gonna fix it. So we're doing things cautiously and we're doing things correctly. So that when we do launch and I do bring in and talk to the artists that we're talking to, it's not going to break on them There's something that they can trust, that they know it's going to be seamless, and it's going to be their artwork as an NFT forever in the blockchain. And that's the idea. It's to really make sure that we one of the things that Kadena is promising with the Marmalade standard is that security. And so it takes time, and I think they want to do it right, so no one can hack it, no one can touch it, and it doesn't break.
Well, that's great to hear. And if you guys ever need anyone for testing or just for UI look and just to look over the website, feel free to hit us up. We have a great team over here at Eucalyptus Labs, and I'm sure they'd be more than willing to give things a one over, give things a try, give things a look. We have our own, of course, graphic and web designers as well. So like any kind of things you need for that kind of support, always feel free to just hit us up, let us know if you need any help. We're more than willing to help, if as long as it doesn't break up what we're working on, because we have a lot of pots in the kettle, or kettles on the stove, I guess would be a kind of way to say it, right now, that are getting close to boiling, and we're gonna have to start sharing those with the world. So but yeah, no, that's been very awesome learning that you guys are still pumping hard in the background. You're still doing lots of work. You're not letting this bear market get you down, and you have a goal, you have a vision, and you're really bringing it to flourishing. And it was great to hear that you found a great dev like Amir that's willing to help you get to that next step and bring your project to life, and really, give it the love and respect that it deserves. Now, I don't know if anyone listening may have a question. If you do, we still got some time here. Feel free to send in a request to speak. We'd love to hear from the community and hear your thoughts. But I want to thank both of you guys for coming up and speaking tonight. It's been very great catching up. And like I said, there's so many different ways and things that things can go in the coming months and time like that. Is Kadena really we're so early in the whole ecosystem that the sky is really the limit right now, and really just your imagination is the only thing that's holding you back, I'd say. We got the Kadena Keeper here that came up. If you have some questions or something to say, please feel free to go right ahead.
Hey, man, I just wanted to say hi, introduce myself. My name is Justin. I'm actually the moderator for Kadena Life Sale. So come on by our Discord. Come say hi. Come hang out with us. We're really excited about launching this project and getting things going. So.
And Justin, you've been awesome. He's been holding the fort on Discord. So I can't tell you how much I appreciate you. So it's he's been there since the beginning, and Justin's awesome. If you guys need a moderator, talk to him.
Yeah, that's great. You definitely need some good mods, that's for sure. It's always, the more hands, the better. It's always more people together is what makes a project really great and what can really move forward. So if anyone has any further questions for Kadena Life Sale, make sure you guys join their Discord. We got Justin in there, obviously, to keep you guys entertained and answer some questions. Demian's in there all the time. So join their Discord, follow them on Twitter, and hopefully very soon we'll be seeing a new marketplace on Kadena and something very special coming out of Kadena Life Sale. So thank you guys very much for joining me. It's been a very great talking with you guys again.
Thank you, Chris, for having us, man. And in a couple of weeks, we should have this test thing, and I'll get in contact with you to just kind of let people know that, this is available. Test it, and that'll be happening very soon. And then shortly thereafter, if everything works right, and we can assure that standard as well that we're talking with Kadena with, then we'll launch the Kadena Life Sale NFTs, the Tier 1, legitimately, and we'll use that. Any funds that we make from that to make the best front end ever. So that's the idea. That's the plan.
Thank you, everyone, and Chris for hosting this. And one shameless plug I just want to give out there. And I know I've asked a few people this, but if anybody's interested in working with us to enable Marmalade NFTs to be cross-chain, whether it's possible or not, when things are launched and things are moving forward, I'd like to circle back and kind of evaluate and share kind of what I've built and what I want to build with anybody who's interested. Really want to keep it technical at this point, but definitely looking for anybody who wants to kind of co-contribute with that. I'd like to make that a community project and see more projects like that.
Awesome. Hopefully, someone listening to this AMA today will be able to reach out. How can they get a hold of you? What would be the best way? Would it be through the Kadena Life Discord?
I don't really follow Discord much. I'm in Telegram. I'm in the Kadena Sisters room.
Wait, could they maybe DM you here on Twitter? Is that an option?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I'll respond.
Awesome. So there you go, folks. Make sure you guys go follow Kadena Life Sale. Follow them on Twitter. They got a link tree there. You can follow Demian's YouTube channel. Check out Miriam's website for art. There's lots of really cool. They did a big, really cool Kadena Talks last year with a whole bunch of different projects. It's a really good video to watch. You can really learn a lot about Kadena and some of the really cool projects. So make sure you guys go give that a follow. Join their Discord. Get involved. And hopefully really soon we'll be getting our hands on some really cool stuff. So once again, thank you guys very much for joining us. It's been great catching up, and everyone listening, take care and have a great evening. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Take it easy, guys.
Thank you, Chris. See you guys.
That wraps up another amazing AMA. Thank you for listening. Here at KPN, we strive to bring an open platform for projects being built on Kadena to present themselves to the community. Please ensure to do your own research on each project before investing. Also ensure to follow us on all our social media, from Twitter to subscribing to our weekly newsletter, to ensure to keep up to date on everything KDA related. You can find all the links in the description below. Take care.